Hello, welcome into my reselling channel, Flippin Hippos. I'm Star. Today, we are going to revisit last week's topic for the midweek motivation video. We talked about boundaries last week, boundaries specifically for resellers. So I'm actually going to ask everybody, did you actually set any boundaries? This isn't a call out. I just want to check in with y'all because hearing me tell you that you need boundaries and coming to that epiphany on your own, realizing that you need boundaries and actually setting them are two very different things. We can all realize that we need change in our lives, but change is hard. People don't really like change. I don't like change. And implementing things that are different or out of your normal routines or whatever can be difficult. Can be hard to start. So knowing that you need the boundaries and actually making the changes in your current lifestyle to implement the boundaries are two different things. So I hope we all understand after last week's video, we need boundaries. But have you set them? Did you set working hours? Did you try stop working at a certain time? Did you clear any of your workspace? Did you organize anything? Did you say no to something last week? No judgment. You don't have to tell me. You don't have to put it in the comments. But I want you to be honest with yourself. When we talked about all the boundaries about time and boundaries with your mental and your physical areas of life, did you do any of that? Here's why most people probably didn't follow through. Life gets busy, old habits take over. That's what I was talking about when it's hard. When you've been living like this for so long, it's really hard to pivot over here. Old habits are hard to break. Life gets busy. Sometimes when we think about changing the way we do things in our business or our processes, we fear that we're going to lose money because we're doing different things in different ways. And then the worst thing that most people do is, I'll start next week. I'll start next month. I'll start next quarter. I'll start next year. Remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. Boundaries can feel wrong at first. You may feel like you're doing less. There comes that fear of losing money. You may feel like you're doing less, missing opportunities. You may feel uncomfortable. They will not feel productive at first, but they do protect your productivity long term. When you have the boundaries in place and you become a better mental and physical you have a better physical and mental well-being. In the long run, you are protecting your productivity. But at first, it's not going to feel like that. If you're used to working 16 hours a day and you're suddenly drawing that line at 8 hours, you are going to feel like you're doing less and not being as productive. But encourage yourself. Encourage progress. You don't have to be perfect. You can take the rest of the year to perfect your boundaries. What matters is trying and progress. If you only worked 30-minute less 3 days this week, good. That's progress. It counts. If you stopped answering messages on the weekend or late at night, that's progress. Did you organize only one bin? That's great. Take out that word only. You organized one bin. That's awesome. Celebrate your progresses, not your perfection. When you try for perfection and you want everything to be perfect, that's when it becomes even harder to make these changes. Sometimes good enough is good enough. You do need a full reset eventually, but the full reset does not have to happen at first. It can come in small changes, small shifts. So here's what I want you to do this week. Last week, you learned about why you need boundaries, what boundaries we need. And this week, I'm challenging you to seriously start implementing them. Pick one of these things and work on it. Set work hours and stop when work is done and go have a life. Get all your inventory into one space. You don't have to do this all in 1 week, by the way. I'm just saying this week, pick one. Because I know for some folks, getting your inventory all in one space may take the rest of the year. And that's fine if that's what you pick to work on. Take a day off or designate a work area and stay in that area when you're working. So if you designate your dining room table, an office in a desk in your office, don't go sit on the couch or the recliner or whatever. Pick a workspace. So that's 4 choices. Set a stop time, get your inventory in one space, take a day off, or don't work outside of your work area. You can pick just one thing to work on at a time. You don't have to fix everything all at once. It will all come into place. Once you start placing these boundaries and setting good routines for yourself and getting into the habit of doing things in a specific order at a specific time, and you have these boundaries, it all starts to fall in place. I promise. Just like I said, it feels weird at first, but you're actually long-term protecting your productivity. Because imagine if your death pile that's across 8 rooms is not organized in one room. You're going to be able to list it much quicker, right? If you have focused hours to work, you're going to focus more on work. So it has to start small, but it has to start. You have to start somewhere. And remember the cost of not having boundaries. I did talk about it last week, but we are going to just point these out one more time because they're important. The cost of not having boundaries is burnout, resentment towards your business, messy home life, no work balance, lower productivity, and your mental and physical health can take a beating, for sure. Without boundaries, your business will take everything from you. You need to run your business, not your business running you. When you have the boundaries, you have a more focused work time, better listings, more energy, more consistency. You feel happier and healthier. And then you have that balance where you have time for things outside of work and you don't feel like it's eating you alive and taking over your world. Boundaries do not limit your business. They grow your business. So pick one of those boundaries and try working on it this week. If you want to tell me in the comments which one you picked, that's great. There's accountability. You've now put it out in the world that that's what you're doing. But I want you to at least be honest with yourself and your close reseller friends. Like, hey, I heard I need to set boundaries and I'm going to be doing this. And I will be back in a couple of months to check on you again to make sure you guys are setting these boundaries and finding your work-life balance so that you can be more productive when you're working and have a life outside of work. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe. It feeds hungry hippos. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.